Here's the thing. It only takes 1 month. I feel like if you're in a rut right now, the only thing that you need to hear right now is this, which is that it only takes 1 month. It takes 1 month to restore your confidence. It takes 1 month to start building momentum again. It takes 1 month to see a little bit of results from whatever you're pursuing. For the most part, you can start seeing results in your thing in a month. Sorry, it was bothering me that the camera was a little bit weird. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking because and it's been like it's late. It's 10 and I wake up at 5, so I'm going to get like if I sleep like in 5 minutes, I'm going to get like 7 hours of sleep, which is not enough because I already have sleep debt. But this was on my mind to talk about this today because first of all, I want to be get like way more active on this channel. I'll probably talk about that more towards the end. But um I mean, this has helped me immensely because at the end of last year, at the end of 2025, I was in the craziest rut that I've ever been in my life. I was not productive at all. I did not have any kind of routine. I was not making any kind of progress towards any goals whatsoever. I was eating a bunch of junk food, gaining a bunch of weight, just treating myself and my body absolutely horribly. And a stark contrast to how I was living in college, because in college, I had obviously assignments to do. I had goals in assignments, in exams, and I was walking around the place. I was quite active. So even though I didn't intentionally create that environment to be mentally stimulated and to mentally be able to kind of chase goals and stuff, it was created for me. But then I graduated and I did the normal summer of, fucking off like everybody does. Did a little bit of travel, did a little bit of hanging out with friends, all that stuff. And summer is summer, summer is like my normal time to not have any kind of routine and to, just kind of let my life fall apart so I can put it back together. And so obviously like when that was happening, obviously I didn't know or notice that I was going to fall into this kind of pattern. And so I ended up falling into the pattern, and it was, I mean, it was atrocious. It was really bad. And it was the worst that it's ever been, ever in my life. And I could kind of tell that if I kept going down this path, I would not enjoy my life, and all the plans, all the goals, dreams, wishes that I had for myself were just not going to come into fruition. So it took one decision, which is all it takes. Like for me, you, anybody, that's all theoretically it really takes is just one decision. And that one decision, the one desire can change your whole life. And I can go back in time a few years ago and tell you the one decision, desire, whatever that brought me to this point. And it's crazy, but like the point is that your life is a sum total of decisions, and every so often you will have a decision where you can go down a few different paths, and your life will lead down different paths in life. So if I hadn't made a decision that I wanted to start an online business, then I probably would not be here talking to you guys. I probably would be doing something else with my time, um, and so on and so forth. So that's besides the point. But I made that decision at the start of this year that I wanted to finally chase my dreams and just go all the way, just go all in, because there's no better time than now. Especially with AI disrupting and turning everything upside down, there is absolutely no better time than now. And so when I made that decision, I invested in myself, which I'll make another video talking about the investments I've made in myself. But I invested in myself, and it was the best money I've ever spent. It was a discipline coach, if you will, but he absolutely helped me to completely revamp my self image and my habits and my routine. Now I have a routine. Now I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and I don't wake up at 5 a.m. because of him, because he told me to. It was actually my idea, and it's for me. I do it for me. And I, even if I don't get enough sleep, I still wake up at 5 a.m. because it's amazing waking up at 5 a.m. But that's a different topic for a different day. Um, so the point is that after I started doing these things, I made that one decision at the end of the year last year. And I said, you know what, no matter what, this is going to be the year. And this year felt a little bit different. And I invested in myself specifically so that this year could be the year. And so far, that has been proven to be true because I have been consistent on my grind. I've been consistent on outreach, content, all that stuff. And it's starting to pile up and I'm starting to see results. And it only really, like I said, like the title of this video, it only really takes 1 month of consistency, 1 month of, just grinding, just no one seeing the fruits of your labor, you not seeing the fruits of your labor, before you're able to kind of get that inkling, get that little tiny small belief in yourself that is enough fuel to keep you going. So that 1 month, it's like you might not have fuel. You might just be working out of pure, sheer willpower and strength and desire and motivation, all of which are fuels that burn very easily. They burn through very easily. But after that 1 month, you can generate some of that cleaner, purer fuel, the discipline fuel, right? More motivation. You can have more motivation fuel because you know that if you stop, then you're not going to be able to see those results. And that's something that like is on my mind as well. And so the goal is always to like just with yourself, you're supposed to be trying to build up streaks for as long as possible, the longest possible streaks. And if you fall off, then get back on it. And I think that I watched this video of this girl who used to be an alcoholic, and she said something about like, you know, for people who are alcoholics and they're getting sober, they're not counting down because she used to do like 75 hard to like stop drinking alcohol, and she was like she's gonna start counting up instead of counting down. And I'm not an alcoholic. I've never been an alcoholic, but I just thought it's interesting to see that dynamic. But I also thought it was like I really love that idea. That is something that I took away from that video, and I'm like I can apply it to my life in so many different ways because I really like that idea of counting up, not down. Because if you really think about it, if you have a habit that you want to do, and eventually you will fall off the habit one way or another, um, by you falling off of that habit, you're inherently counting down in a sense, but it's just you're counting down from an unknown number because eventually you start from zero all over again. But and I hope that that makes sense. It made sense in my head, but I don't know if it made sense like when I just said it out loud. But the like when you then decide to count up, that could be something as simple as okay, today I am going to like count the days that I stay on my habit, even if I don't do this habit this day, that I'm going to count the next day that I do the habit, or I'm going to count how long it takes for me to get back on the horse after I've fallen off. And your goal is to shorten that time as much as possible, because another thing that I heard is that um, the most successful people has failed way more than the biggest failures, right? Like people like I don't want to say you and me, but but people like I mean I'll throw myself under the bus. Like people like me, I have inherently failed less, way less than someone like obviously Steve Jobs but Steve Jobs has more life than me. Let's make it fair. Then I have failed less than Mark Zuckerberg when he was my age. And Mark Zuckerberg, when he was my age, was like I think he was already the CEO of Facebook. He already had Facebook by then. He had made numerous apps before then. He had done numerous projects. He had, gotten in trouble with Facebook. I mean, so many different things, so many different quote unquote failures, but Facebook emerged the victorious thing out of that whole debacle. So you want to fail as fast as possible and get back on your feet as fast as possible. And if you give yourself a month to do that, and in the month you almost certainly will fail, you almost certainly will fall on your feet. But if you get back as fast as you possibly can, then I guarantee you something within you will start to change, even if it's just a little bit. Your self image will start to change. And the goal here is that you want to bring up your baseline just a little bit every single time. So stack enough of those months together, and you've changed your self image a meaningful amount. Now your baseline is where your past ceiling was, if that makes sense. So I've talked about consistency a lot over the past few days, and that's just because it's something that's starting to click for me now. And so I hope that by talking about it, it can keep clicking for me, and I hope that it can also click for you too. Because the thing, like, people really think that you can post a video and go viral, and because of that, like, that is success. But it's not success. Like, the real success is posting 200 videos, each of them getting like 10 views or whatever, and then slowly building up like over 500 videos, maybe starting to get to like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 views per video, instead of just posting one video and being a one hit wonder, an overnight success. Because in that sense of the word, you never learn. You don't learn. You don't know what you did right to make that video work. But with the repetitions that you have, you're able to make like you know what you did. And in order to get that, the second one that we want, which is like 500 videos, you need consistency. It is a law, a fact of life. You need consistency. And something that I'm really big on, which kind of goes into, I'm going to end off the video very soon here, but something that I'm big on that goes off into what I'm going to be focusing on in this channel later on is obsession. I think that, and I'll probably make another video on this, but I think that you cannot find greatness without obsession, because people who are great are very good at looking into the little details, obsessing over the little details. The best sports players, the best athletes, the best actors, the best entrepreneurs, like all these people who are at the top of their game, they're obsessed with something. It might not be the game as a whole, it could be like a part of the game, but they're still obsessed with something. And that kind of leads me into this project that I'm doing, where something that I've been wanting to do. So I've been doing a lot of soul searching. This video is actually going to get a little bit longer, but I've been doing a lot of soul searching and trying to find within myself, what is it that I actually want to do. And I through my, like with myself, I went through my whole story, my whole childhood journey, and how I got to this point that I am at right now, where I'm doing what I'm doing, and then I'm also doing the business and, all that stuff. And something that I discovered that has been within me for a very long time since I was a kid is the need, the desire to foster human connection. And with my business, that is a possibility, but it is not it is not the it's a possibility, but it's not like a huge thing in the business, right? Like there's some aspects where I can do that, but it's still the business, if that makes any sense. And so I think a perfect way to do that would be to one, make videos like I'm doing now, like sharing everything that I've learned along the way in my journey. And by that, I can then also create a community of people who are very similar to me, because I would love to meet people similar to me who are grinding, who are obsessed with something, um, and like they're not ashamed of it. And so, because of that, I'd like to announce that if you look into the description of this video, and I think I changed a few, like the description of a few videos back, you will now see that I have a Google form in the description, which is just a form to a completely free community, but I want it to be like the most exclusive free community of people who are obsessed founders who are building something that they're proud of and that they always want to talk about. And it's I mean, if you're interested, just fill out the form. Like you'll know what to do, and I'll reach out to you. But if not, then cool, no worries too. Like I said, there's no payments or anything required. It's literally just like me wanting to foster human connection. Like I see a vision in the future where I was just thinking about it this morning, but I see a vision in the future where eventually, because of how high quality the group is and because of how much money will be in the group from the people, right? Because like let's say if by then I'm making like 150K per month, I could probably spend like drop like 5K one month to rent out a villa somewhere like in Bali and invite the founders in that group like free of charge, and everyone just covers their flight or whatever. So that's something that I want to make a reality. Is to like make it easy, easy as counting one, two, three. So easy to foster connections with high value people. And eventually, I'll probably have to change the form and make it an application, or maybe I don't know. I don't know. But for now, it's free, and you just have to answer the questions in the right way. And if you're interested, click it. If not, that's okay too. And I will see you in the next video. I'm going to also, last thing on this channel, um, I I talked about, I think in the last video, my few projects, and I have this channel, I have the business channel, and then I said something about having another channel where I'm kind of like explaining my lessons and stuff. And I just figured why not tie that channel into this channel, because they're basically all the same thing. So I'm going to marry the two, and that's just going to be this. So everything I have learned is going to be on this channel, and I'm going to share it as raw as possible. I have a Miro board video coming out soon. I'm I'm going to try to not um, I'm going to try to like not invest too much time in these videos. Like this video is basically 20 minutes long now. So I want to make it like concise, but I just had a few announcements that I needed to put towards the end, so I did talk about it a lot. But anyway, the point is, moving forward on this channel, it's going to be, yes, it's still a documenting channel, but it's also a learning and teaching channel. So maybe in the description, I'll put like what day it is and of me building my online business, but um, it's not going to be in the title anymore, as you can see from this video. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video.